Hey. Welcome to the Psychic Soul Healing Oracle channel. My name is Laura Schwan, and I'm going to do a general message for Pisces. Those of you that are new to the Psychic Soul Healer channel, anything that you need to know about my giveaways, how to book a personal reading, where to find any other subscriptions that I have, you just need to go to the description box below. Also, if you write the word healer in the comment bar and you like the video and you subscribe to the channel, you can win a psychic reading. Again, I will enter you in a weekly giveaway. And every week I will pick a person to get a free reading, and that reading is going to be done live stream. So if you're into that, and again, you resonate with video, give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Those are the 3 requirements. Now, I always like to open up my readings using my deck because my deck talks about the psychological and the emotional blocks, which are karmic, right? So a lot of times we associate karma with bad, but karma just means learn. So understanding what the underlying energy is of your situation allows us to tackle the situation from a different perspective a lot of times, or allows us to look not just for the deeper meaning, because the deeper spiritual meaning allows us to not take things personally, but it also allows us to find solutions, find different ways of handling the situation and experience, which inevitably will change your outcome. So, the energy is fluid and we have free will. So you can change your outcome. You have the power to shape shift your experience. So we look at the situation first through a healing perspective. Again, that we're understanding what the karmic theme is, the spiritual block, the heavy energy, or again, maybe a gift, spiritual gift that should be helping you. Again, depending. And then I will pull from a bunch of different decks, which allows us to look at your situation from many different perspectives. We see that a lot of people on YouTube do that, but understanding why we do that allows us to look at a situation through a different energy, right? Because again, every different card has energy. When you're reading a person's energy, you're reading their thought energy, their emotional energy, their spiritual energy. So again, and all those different energies gives us different perspectives. It allows us to go really deep into a situation. So the first card out, by the way, this reading, I don't know if I said it, but I'll say it again, is going to be for Pisces. Okay. Cross watchers, always welcome to watch. Now, roles may be reversed, so you may have to flip it or switch it, interpret the message as it best resonates for you. And first card out we see is obscurity. When I see that, I always feel like someone's breadcrumbing, someone it feels like they're not getting enough. And in that, they're probably not doing enough also. Because again, if we're looking for love and we're getting obscurity, like from someone's breadcrumbing, and that's what I feel right off the bat. Also it's not uncommon if we're with someone that gives us little, then we also tend to feel that we get little out of life, or that life is unfair, or life is one-sided, or finances are again not abundant. So again, there's a theme here of obscurity, because that type of energy just isn't in one area, it's straight across the board. And when we begin to evolve, part of the evolution is being able to do shadow work, where we get triggered and actually see where in our life is we become aware. And it's usually through, again, a situation that we perceive as undesirable. Again, the unfoldment process. So you might see that you were with a person that was giving you very little, but you were ignoring it. And you you wound up settling, and then that person left. So it's again, you learned, hey, when you looked at the relationship, you said this person never really gave me to begin with. So again, where you begin to look and see, and hopefully look and see it, what did we do to contribute to the fact that this person gave us very little? Because when they came in giving us very little, we probably wouldn't have been with them to begin with. So the relationship evolved that way. I'm feeling that just right off the bat through that one card. So it's again determination. So, and then this is what happens too when I'm feeling Pisces, is that you got into a relationship where it was great, and then the person gave you very little. And I feel like for some of you, you just started to get off in a relationship where it was very little to begin with, and that you didn't learn, you didn't see that it was little. Learn meaning you probably had a lot of other relationships that where people always gave you little. Maybe you grew up in an environment where you got very little emotional support. Maybe one parent works again, and maybe there was only one parent, so you were left by yourself a lot, so there was very little support. So again, a lot of times we get this type of energy because on some level we feel that there's something missing within us, or that we have very little of something within us. Our perception of ourself is this. And that means, again, what we can also create and have for ourselves. So, determination might mean, again, for some of you Pisces, I'm feeling determined to be in a relationship where you try really hard, you try and become your best version of yourself for this person, trying to make something work. It's also, again, because it's a general reading, I'm sure that there are some Pisces out there too that feel obscurity within their work, meaning that they put in so much time and effort and energy and they're getting very little in return. And little could be paycheck or bonuses or whatever the perks that that particular industry that you work in normally offers. So there's very little in return. It's usually means one-sided. And when I see this determination, it's usually determined to make something more if we're getting less, right? So again, whether that's money or whether that's emotional attention. And like I said, it's not uncommon to see that spiritual block straight across the board, Pisces, meaning in all areas of our life, because energy tends to bleed into other areas because it affects our self-esteem. If somebody is making us feel this, it's not uncommon for us to wind up seeing that in our work and seeing again is what you're who and what you're surrounding yourself with and what you're tolerating. So if you're tolerating people that give you this, then what happens is that your own experiences are going to have that, or you're not going to see it. Your perceptions will become distorted. So let's see one more from the psychic skull, overstimulated. And it's creating a lot of overstimulation, which is making you feel nervous, which is anxiety, right? When I feel like I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm still not really seeing anything. So I feel like Pisces, you may be in a relationship with someone that is giving you not enough. And you're trying to make the relationship work, but it's creating a lot of overstimulation, it's creating a lot of nervousness. So I want to actually look and see for again the love messages. But again, if you're the people Pisces that are with someone, if I can get this part up, like if there's any messages from you and your person right off the bat, I just want to see. Curious. I know usually we would do this last, but I'm just curious. Withdrawn. So remember again, withdrawn. And that's because, again, that's why you're getting less. So when a person begins to withdraw from themselves, it's, again, there's a sense, Pisces, that you feel like your person is there, but not, that they're detached. And they are. To share your emotions, work, and trust issues, it's safe to be open, but you don't feel safe with this person because I feel this person, the person that you're connected to, has done this to you before, Pisces, that they give very little. That you try, that it almost feels like the relationship's always in a trying, like you're always trying to make it work. Um, and that you're detached. You're detached because you feel that your person is withdrawn from you and is becoming very overstimulating. Denial, and that's a sense too. So when we're withdrawn and then we're like denying it, it's our subconscious mind knows that there's something wrong. We know. Now we can deny because we're determined to make it work. So we keep feeling like if I make make the house perfect, if I cook and clean, if I do. So I feel like your relationship, Pisces, in the beginning was a soulmate connection. So, and it was a trauma bond. It's a trauma bond. So, but understand, trauma bonds are still soulmate and they can be twin flame relationships too. It's like just because we call them that, it doesn't, again, they're all hard relationships. All relationships teach and they grow the soul, and they grow the soul through coming into our lives and through we get the test first, and the test is, do we abandon ourselves, or do we, by giving the person that we're so head over heels with so much time, effort, energy, are they coming in handicapped, or coming in a place where their life is completely in shambles and you're coming in being the fixer? Is that a theme for you, that you tend to come in and being the fixer and then the person isn't there, all of a sudden they're withdrawn from you, that they're detached from you, that they're not giving you enough? Again, very common. Codependency is written all over this story that I'm seeing right here. So when I see that, again, the person is, this is a definite stage of codependency, definite stage of codependency, because we make excuses for the other person, why they're not showing up, why they're treating us a certain way. And this keeps us in fear. This keeps us in obscurity. And so even though we love the person, our love is the most abundant energy because it's the energy of God. It is of God, right? Because God's the universe and the universe is abundant. But here we are with someone that is giving us so little. So what is our mindset? Again, I know that we're in a state of denial, Pisces, but what is our actual like sense? Because denial we're not conscious of. We may not be, we may be. And I think a lot of times over time we know that we are, but we just, again, don't want to let go of what we invested in, what the story of what we believed it was, the story of what, again, we desired that it would be, and again, the potentiality of that person. Troublemaker. So it's again, it's a like, so it's outside influences, destruction in your wake, like tend to your own business, cause no harm. But I feel like that's another thing that happens in these codependent and toxic relationships. It's like everything, they can never just be fine for long periods of time. And that's really what I'm feeling. And that's why also you stay in a state of overstimulation, because the person is continually your person. Again, this is very common. Again, not just whether you're a Pisces. This can fall for any person that happens to be in a codependent trauma bond relationship. And understand it's because the person is giving them little, and instead of going out and finding themselves. Again, let's look and see what the answer would be. Instead of detaching from this situation, and detaching is I may love you, but I will not emotionally be right here and give you all my energy and condone this, because if you're treating me badly and I'm sitting right here, maybe even if I'm not here, but maybe if emotionally I'm right there, and when it's a soulmate twin flame relationship, there is an ESP connection, there is a connection where two people can feel that they're connected. Well, you have to put your mind somewhere else. You have to detach from this person on an emotional level, because eventually that person will see it. They will feel it. They'll see it first from the detachment of it not calling them, not feeding them. So again, they're not giving you anything. If a person's in threat of breadcrumbing, you don't breadcrumb them back, because they don't care. Because guess what? You may be with someone that doesn't know, Pisces, that they want to be in a relationship with you, because that's what this energy is. You may be with someone that doesn't want to be in a relationship with anyone. They just want to be running around interactive with whoever the heck they want to be with when they want to be. And that's really what this energy is. But it gets you to do more. Again, though, like, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to work it, instead of detaching yourself. Because if the person is attracted to you, they were attracted to you by how they met you, and you were not all up in their business fixing their life. They don't like their life. So if you're going to come in and fix their life, they're not going to think too high of you. You can teach this person how to fix their life by embodying your own life, by having a love affair in your own life. What, how else? Well, diluted, not look at, again, the diluted behavior of that a relationship, something that happens over time. So if a person's not giving you anything, they don't know anything tomorrow, next year. It's again, if I'm only breadcrumbing and I'm keeping it surface because I'm emotionally not attached, which is why this tends to happen. Why, what the energy is of this reading, that Pisces, you are in a relationship with someone that is completely withdrawn, where you're like continually giving and you're getting very little in return, and there's like a diluted way of thinking that it's going to change, but you're overstimulated and have anxiety at the same time, because this person like deliberately causes trouble, deliberately, because they know that you're in denial of it, that you're not going to really believe it. They think that you're not going to believe it because you stay, and they don't really know whether you believe it, but they definitely know that you don't want to leave. So they deliberately cause this anxiety because they're the troublemaker and they know it, because this isn't the first time. So you have to detach from that situation, meaning that yes, you go through the experience, you know what it is, you allow yourself to feel that, but then you don't go back into the situation and let the person do it again. You have to feed yourself. There's means that there's pieces of yourself that are missing, because this is like malicious energy. And if you see how I pulled in, and never think that that's a mistake. I always just say, well, it's what I was feeling or how it came out or whatever. So maliciousness is that after a while, the person knows that they're being mean. It's again, you know that they're being mean and that you're not utilizing your intuition, because our intuition always tells us. Again, that creative genius is finding yourself, feeding yourself, becoming yourself. And it's again that the pieces that are missing are parts of your identity. The parts of your shadow are the parts of you that are in denial, again, of missing parts and aspects of yourself. And that does make you withdrawn, makes you withdrawn from the world, makes you withdrawn from yourself. So it's again, if you're all up in your head, you're detached from yourself, but you're withdrawn from society. And in order to heal, you have to be interactive in life. You have to be, again, in this energy, the creative genius, which is creating yourself, giving and receiving of love. Again, letting your intuition lead the way. It's like then you'd be able to tell the difference between like negative energy and not negative energy. And if you're really feeding yourself and passionately involved in life, well, you're not going to put up with this energy. The last thing that you're going to do. It's again, you're automatically going to detach because you're not going to want to have anxiety. And then when you do that, then that person will see, well, I was pretty deluded for assuming that that person was going to stick around because I see she's very interactive in her own life. She has a great life, or he has a great life. Again, whatever gender, it doesn't matter. But that he has a great life. He doesn't need me in his life. I was deluded. I was looking at this person as if they were me. And what I see about me is that I gave very little. And this person gave me a lot. And now I have to sit with that energy and see that they gave me and I didn't give them. And I'm realizing now that that you mean something to me, that Pisces, you mean something to me. So that is what I'm feeling, that your person is learning again and seeing what has transpired, what they did. And I don't think that they've ever seen anything that they've ever did. And it's not it with any relationship, not just yours. And the reason why I say that is because this is how the subconscious stays subconscious, is that the person's not hasn't awakened to why they're they're lonely, why again their life looks a certain way. Because I feel like your person life is not happy. When a person feels that they have to do all that, they never feel safe. They're never going to trust anyone. Their heart is never going to be open. And you don't need cards for that. It's again a sign that person's afraid. They're terrified of relationship. And a lot of times this happens too because their past relationships where they were in a codependent relationship where they were expected to be that other person's happiness or other person's everything, and we fall short. And no one wants that position. No one wants that job. So what happens is that if a relationship starts imbalance where you don't have two people that have a rich, full life, then what happens is like very, very, very short into the relationship, very fast, I should say, into the relationship, you see changes. You see the person go from love bombing to giving very little. And the reason why is because they're out of balance, and they're out of balance, and you can tell by their energy how much they're giving, how little they're giving, how they're treating themselves. Like again, what are they doing for themselves to raise their energy? Because that'll always give them away. So soul plan the future. I can't see. Oh my Lord, I need to change my glasses. The fated life versus the destined life. See this? So soul plan the fated life versus the destined life. So again, this talks about choice, right? And this was talking about soulmate, twin flame, like relationship. Pisces, a soul relationship. So again, soul relationship could be a trauma bond relationship. Again, whatever you want to call it. Trauma bond, it just happens to be that you're with the soulmate and those lessons were hard. And the lesson could have been, again, about self-love. And you say, well, what's so hard about self-love? Well, if you were, again, brought up in an environment where your happiness came from giving other people, doing for other people, well, guess what? Then that would be your fated. You know, it's like it's fated. It's like it's a fated destiny. Like it's like which is karmic. It's like, oh, it's like that's I went down a fork in the road. I came to a fork in the road and I went down the left, and the left was my fated, which was all my habits and behaviorisms. And I grew up in a family that I didn't get that much emotional support, Pisces. This is what I feel like for you. And because of that, I've had relationships that gave me very little emotional support. I find that I give a lot to my relationships, and I always feel like I'm going to change it. Like I'm deluded in the fact that I think that I'm going to change it. I use all my energy and I really try. I try to do everything. I think of very creative ways to make that person love me more and stay interested, even though I'm so terrified of abandonment or again. So I'm determined, but I'm putting my all my energy. That's a problem because the problem because A is going to create overstimulation, which is anxiety, because you can't control anyone. And then if you're also trying to, there's a sense of not feeling like you're good enough. And so then you're not holding the vibration of love. So you can't really keep love or attract love. What you need to do is you need to actually detach because your person knows what they do. It's again, they know they don't care. It works for them. It's again a psychological reversal. They can love you and still do it because they don't feel safe. So this is why you have to detach. Okay? Otherwise you're gonna get overstimulated and create anxiety, and sometimes anxiety that looks like it's anger. So you may then start yelling at your person, trying to control your person, and that person's definitely gonna retract from you. But understand if you're saying, but this person like does things to trigger me, well, you're right. It's again malicious what they do. Your intuition is telling you that they are withdrawing from you. Don't make it look like you're in denial to this person. It's again because you don't know what to do. Because then you're walking down again that you're fated. The destined should be again the more positive outcome, right? Again, we tap into the genius, and that's the genius part of self. And this is how we can get to a destined part of ourselves, which is like your fantasy of what you would want for yourself, what is positive for yourself, like, and for every person that's different. Because otherwise, and this is again what I pulled for out of this deck, which again confirms everything with this story, which is discontent and bored. So you ask yourself, why again does the relationship go from one extreme to another? Why am I getting so little? And it's because the person again is not really satisfied. And so this tells me again, you're not supposed to be Pisces, this person's satisfaction, though you're expecting them to satisfy you on some level. So that tells me already that, again, confirms that this is a codependent thing, a codependent relationship on some level, and not because both of you guys don't have a job and both of you guys don't have, you know, maybe even friends, but there's no substance to your life except for going off to work and having a few friends. What about your hobbies? What about your interests? Where do you get your other passions in life? If otherwise life becomes again boring, and then we disconnect because our passion can't come from a person. That's a spiritual law. It has to come from doing something that just inspires us, something that we love, something where we lose our time, our energy, our focus, and our money. Then when we again have a love affair in our own life, it grows and it grows into different avenues. It creates new opportunities and experiences that change us and grow us. And so if you're starting off in a place that's imbalanced, because now you're getting very little, and look, we got detachment, detachment, disconnected, boredom, obscurity, like overstimulated. Like, I mean, literally every troublemaker because overstimulated, like waiting for the shoe to drop. So if you grew up in an alcoholic family, or again, one that had trauma, like that would be also like, oh, I'm waiting for this energy. Again, this, I don't know what I'm going to get when I walk through the door, or when that person walks through the door, or what they're going to be. Again, there's a sense of like this bipolar energy. And the bipolar energy is the fact that they're withdrawn. You may not know what exactly, Pisces, but you're intuitive enough to know that there's something wrong. So you're being triggered to do more. You're being triggered to, it's again, and that's not the way to go about it. It's to step into this energy. I'm going to leave it there for you, Pisces. I hope that was helpful for you. I know that a lot of times when we're in soulmate, twin flame relationships, just because we know something doesn't mean that we can change it. Understand change. I mean, we can change it, but change it overnight. Changing to change something, there's a process. And that process is an unfoldment process. And it's through the creation of yourself, which is again why I kept showing you that creative genius. The creative genius is the God part of self, which is a supernatural part of self, which when we feed something, again, when we invest our time into something, it grows. The key is not to grow it into a person as soon as you meet them. It's again to grow yourself. And then when that person comes into your life and they're supposed to be in your life and they want to be in your life, well, guess what? They're going to match your energy because you're going to look like you're having a good time. And before I actually, I know I said that I was going to close, but I wanted to just pull because I want to see something from the Lovers deck. I want to see if your person has a message for you, what would it be? Because sometimes we want to say, is this person's intention good? Does this person intentionally want to hurt me? Or are they psychologically getting in their own way? Are they sabotaging our relationship because again they don't feel that they're deserving, they don't feel like they can have, or do they genuinely care about me, or do they not care about me? Are they toying with me? That's really what I want to see, because I see like troublemaker and I see that this person knows what they do. I see that they don't care. Now there is a difference between, I don't want to say that there's, the person can believe that they love you and not respect you. Again, that's not intentional. So again, but understand, if they don't respect you over time, you will not love them and they will not love you either. So you have to make a person respect you first. And so I want to see whether it's this intentional, again, how they treat you, again, what would the message be? I don't know. Like I said, and I know I said I was going to close it out, but I was like, I just intuitively was like, well, I want to see, like, does this person? Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life, regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. So this is like, this person, again, you are not satisfied. I don't believe that your person is happy either. I believe that you've gone into a routine with your person. So it doesn't mean that there's not love there, because again, the time that you spent with this person and the experiences that you created with this person will create love. But is that unconditional love? No. Is that love that can grow and has a strong foundation? No. It's again, why? Because neither one of you feel joy in this relationship, and it's because it's been so imbalanced, and it doesn't really matter how it got there because it doesn't say. It didn't do a reading on that. It's saying again where you are now, Pisces. So whatever transpired, because I'm sure there's again for every Pisces, there's going to be a different story that has transpired. But what's important to know is if a person is continually making you feel overstimulated and there's no joy in a relationship, and you're not, and you keep feeding it and the person's just detached, you have to come to a realization that you, if you want to have the life that you want, you're the one that has to change it pretty much, because it doesn't look like this person as of right now has the intention to change it, just for kicks. Truth. So it's again, look for truth. But it, I would say that's the truth. This person definitely is not, does not want to change it. It's like they're in a place where they don't. So you have to be true to yourself again by listening to your intuition, and again, and just live by your truth so you can again attract that. Again, I hope that was helpful, Pisces. Let me know. Leave a like, comment down below. Subscribe to my channel if you resonated. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.